Hey everyone, and welcome to today's craft video. Firstly, I'd like to say that if you entered the draw for the paper decorations, I have added a video at the end of this one so you can see who won. I'll also contact the two people that did win as well in the comments. So yeah, let's get into today's video and how I made this fall or autumn wall decoration. So the first thing you're going to need for today's craft is some scrapbook paper and some braids. These are embellishments that I get from Poundland, and the paper's from Poundland, and I'm going to use some of the paper decorations that I made in a previous video. I will link it in the description below. I've already made these in the fall colour that I wanted, so yeah, the video will be in the description to show you how to make them. But like I said, I've already made them for this, so I didn't want to redo the same video again. You'll also need a piece of card. This is off an old cardboard box, and this will be what we'll be using for the top of the wall decoration. And then you'll need a mixture of dark leaves and fall colour flowers. I'm using some pine cones that I got in a bag from a couple of Christmases ago, and then some wool of your choice. And then I picked up this odd bag of like nuts and wicker balls, and this was from a charity shop for 99p, and I did use a couple of the wicker balls. And then I was going to use some of the lights from Poundland, but in the end I decided not to use them. You'll also need a glue gun, a pair of scissors, a ruler, a pen, and some invisible thread to tie it all together. So the first thing I did was I measured out a 3" by 20" long strip on the card, and I've just drawn it out with a pen, and all I'm going to do is cut that out with a craft knife, and once that's done I will be back. So I've cut it out with a craft knife, and now I'm going to cover it in the wool that I've decided to use. I'm using the dark burgundy colour. This is a pounder ball from Poundland. I love this colour, it's so nice. And all I'm going to do is attach on the back the wool with a dab of hot glue, just using some tweezers to push it into the glue so it sticks. And then I'm just going to start to wrap this around. Now I'm only going to glue the first bit into place, and then the rest I just wrapped. I didn't use any glue, but all I'm going to do is put a little bit of glue on the edge of the cardboard. And then push that into place, and then do the same on the other side. And it doesn't matter about going right to the edge because the leaves and the flowers do cover it, so it's not that important if it's not right to the end of the cardboard. And then all I'm going to do now is continue to wrap the wool all the way around to the other end of the card, and just pushing it up to make sure that it's nice and tight, and also that it covers all of the card. So I'm just going to carry on doing this while I'm watching TV, and then when I get to the other end I'm just going to attach it with some glue on the back, and I'll be back once I've done that. So the cardboard's covered now, and I'm really happy with the effect that the wool gives. I've done this a couple of times on some wreaths, and I've done it in one of my Halloween decorations using orange and black wool. But now we can decorate the top. And I remembered that I got this star from a charity shop. I paid £1 for it, and I'm actually going to put this in the middle of the display. And then I was planning on maybe using some of the red berries, but in the end I decided to leave them out. And we can just start to decorate it. So I'm going to speed up the video and show you what I did and how I did it. And yeah, the first thing to do is obviously we're going to stick the star in the center, just using hot glue for all the bits that we're going to attach. I'm glad I remembered that I had this because I wanted to use it, and I've tried to think of a few things that I could use it for, but it just fit perfectly on this piece of card. So yeah, I'm really happy that I remembered that I had it. So it's in the center. And then I'm going to make sure that I do the same on each side so they're exactly the same. And I know that I've only got 2 of the orange flowers, so I'm going to use 1 on each side. But first I'm going to start off with a bit of the dark foliage, and I'm just going to pop 2 leaves on each side with a bit of hot glue. And then I decided I was going to add some of these sets of 3 leaves just to fill out the side a little bit. And again, just a little bit of hot glue in the center. And then I just popped that into place. Then I added 1 of the large orange flowers to each side. And then for some strange reason, the camera stopped working, so I've already done one side, but all I'm doing is just adding a few sprigs of this orange and green foliage that I've got, and I'm just adding that around the outside, and I just use 4 bits. Again, the same on each side. And then I also decided to add another leaf just underneath at the front, like so. So I'm happy with how the 2 sides are now, and I'm debating whether to pop some flowers in the centre, and in the end I did decide to add 2 of the darker orange flowers. And then I decided to add a little bit more of the orange and green foliage that I had. And then once I add the little sprigs of orange and green, that's the top of the decoration done. I'm quite happy with how it's looking. I don't want to add any more. And this is the top bit finished. So I did plan on adding some of the nuts and stuff, but in the end I decided to leave it. I'm just going to have it like this. So what I've done now is I've placed what I want and how I want it on the table. I've not stuck anything together or tied anything together, but I'm going to have 5 strands, 1 on each side, and then 2 either side of the star, and then 1 completely in the middle under the star. And I'm going to have them so that they are longer in the middle and then get shorter as we go out towards the edge of the display. I used 11 of the rosettes, 7 pine cones, and then 2 of the wicker balls. And I'm going to attach this all with invisible thread. And originally I was thinking of just using 1 piece of thread and gluing it all the way down, but in the end I decided to do it in bits. And I wasn't going to show this, but as I was doing it I decided, yeah, it was probably a lot better to show you exactly how I did it. So I will get to that video, and I've sped that up as well so you can see it. A lot of it you're not going to be able to see because obviously I'm using invisible thread, but I will talk my way through it. So I've done the first one already, and I will explain how I'm going to do it. So I've done the first one so that I know roughly about spacings, and then I've just laid the next two, the ones that are going to go either side of the star, and I'm just going to tie a longish piece of invisible thread around the bottom of the wicker ball, and I'm just going to double knot that. And then I'm just going to lie it next to the one that I've already done, so I can see roughly how far it needs to be between the wicker ball and the flower rosette. And then all I'm doing is adding a bit of hot glue to the back of the rosette at the top, and then just placing the invisible thread in place and just making sure that it's near enough the same length as the one next to it. And then I'm just going to flip over the rosettes, find the bottom of the ones that we've just glued to the balls, and then I'm just taking one length of invisible thread and finding the two ends, and then I'm just going to cut with a pair of scissors the bit that we've just folded over, so that you've got two lengths exactly the same. And then all I'm doing is adding a dab of glue to the bottom of the rosette that we've just stuck to the ball, and popping a piece of the invisible thread into the glue. And then I'm going to do exactly the same on the other one. And then I'm just going to take the piece of invisible thread that we just glued down and stick it to the paper rosette underneath. And then do exactly the same with the other one, and just making sure that they're roughly about the same distance between each other. And then with the pine cones, I just took a longer piece of length of the invisible thread, glued it to the bottom of the paper decoration that we've just glued to the other one. Do exactly the same on the next one. And then while I'm just waiting for that to dry, I just trimmed off the ends of the invisible thread that we had left over. And then all I did with the pine cones was I took the length, I wrapped it around the pine cone, then wrapped it around until I was happy with how far it was from the paper decoration. And then once I was happy with that, I just used some glue to stick that into place, and then did exactly the same with the other ones. And I'll be back once they're done. So they're all done and they're all attached, and I'm really happy with how it looks. I'm super happy with the results, and I hope you've enjoyed the video, guys. So yeah, I'll link the description in the description how the video to how to do the paper decorations. And yeah, you could do them in any colour that you wanted. They don't have to be fall colour. You could do Christmas one. But yeah, I'm super happy with it. So I'll see you in the next one, guys. And the video for the results of the paper decorations is coming up next. So there was 2 sets of 6. These are the darker blue ones and the lighter grey ones. There were 6 people who entered. So the first name that I will pull out, I will get to choose which colour they want, and then the second person will get the second set. I've just stuck over a piece of paper over the people's second names. And yeah, let's pull out the results. So the first number is number 2. And number 2 is Jane. So Jane, I'll comment on your comment, and if you let me know which colour you want, and I'll get them sent to you in the post. And then the second winner is number 3, and that is Angie. Angie, I will email you as well. And yeah, I hope you enjoy them once you get them. So I'll see you tomorrow for a Poundland haul.